Today I would like to invite you to listen to the Dhammapada of the Buddha Sakyamuni. The 204th verses from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel Thien Thai in the USA. Dear practitioners and all beloved listeners of the Dharma, today we come together with a peaceful heart to contemplate the profound teaching of the Blessed One through the Dhammapada. Within these sacred words, the Buddha gently reminds all beings about the true treasures that bring freedom, happiness, and peace to life. The wisdom of the Buddha is not only a teaching for those who seek the path of liberation, but also a compassionate guidance for every person who wishes to cultivate a life filled with understanding, kindness, and harmony. The Buddha taught that human life is precious because it provides the opportunity to understand suffering, transform the mind, and cultivate the causes of lasting peace. Many people spend their lives searching for happiness in external possessions, recognition, power, and countless desires. Yet the Buddha saw deeply into the nature of existence and discovered that the greatest happiness does not come from collecting things outside of ourselves. True peace arises from the purification of the heart, from wisdom, from compassion, and from the ability to live with a peaceful mind. The 204th verse of the Dhammapada teaches us a complete path of understanding. It reveals the value of caring for the body, the importance of a satisfied heart, the preciousness of trustworthy relationships, and the supreme peace found in liberation. These teachings are like four gentle lamps that illuminate the journey of human life. When we understand these teachings deeply, we begin to recognize what is truly valuable and what merely creates temporary excitement and attachment. In the first teaching, the Buddha speaks about the blessing of a healthy body. Health allows us to practice generosity, develop wisdom, help others, and walk on the path of awakening. Without physical well-being, many conditions become difficult. A person may have wealth, status, and many possessions, but if the body and mind are constantly troubled, those things cannot bring complete happiness. Therefore, the Buddha encourages us to respect this body, care for it with mindfulness, and use this precious opportunity to cultivate wholesome actions. The Buddha never taught attachment to the body. Instead, he taught awareness. This body is a temporary condition formed by many causes and conditions. It changes every moment. Youth becomes age. Strength becomes weakness. Beauty changes with time. Understanding this truth does not create sadness. Instead, it awakens gratitude. When we understand impermanence, we learn to appreciate each breath, each moment, and each opportunity to practice kindness. The first teaching of this verse is connected with a meaningful story from the life of the Buddha. In the ancient kingdom of Kosala, there lived a wealthy merchant named Buddha. Although he possessed great material wealth, he suffered from a serious illness that brought him great physical pain. His body became weak, and his daily life became filled with discomfort. Even though he had many treasures, he discovered that wealth could not remove the suffering caused by sickness. During that time, the Buddha was residing near the city of Savatthi. Many people gathered to listen to his teachings because they found peace and wisdom in the words of the Enlightened One. Buddha also wished to hear the Dharma, but because of his illness, he was unable to approach easily. Seeing his suffering, the Buddha, through compassion, taught him the path leading beyond physical and mental suffering. Buddha listened carefully to the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha explained the nature of suffering, the causes of suffering, the possibility of freedom from suffering, and the path of practice leading to liberation. As Buddha opened his heart to the Dharma, his mind became peaceful and clear. Although his body was still affected by illness, his heart was no longer controlled by fear, attachment, and confusion. Through understanding the Dharma, Buddha realized that the greatest healing is not only the healing of the body, but also the healing of the mind. A peaceful mind can endure difficulties with patience. A wise heart can transform pain into an opportunity for awakening. The Buddha's teaching showed that physical conditions may change according to causes and conditions, but the cultivation of wisdom and compassion creates a freedom that cannot be taken away by circumstances. This story reminds us that caring for our health is not only about avoiding illness. It is also about creating a balanced life with wholesome thoughts, peaceful emotions, and mindful actions. The body and mind are deeply connected. When the mind is filled with anger, greed, jealousy, and anxiety, the body also suffers. When the mind is calm, compassionate, and understanding, the body receives the support of inner peace. Many people search for happiness by trying to gain more and more. They believe that more possessions will create more security. They believe that recognition from others will create lasting confidence. They believe that fulfilling every desire will bring satisfaction. However, the Buddha observed that endless desire is like drinking salty water. The more one drinks, the more one feels thirsty. The wise person learns to recognize the difference between having enough and always wanting more. Contentment does not mean giving up effort or abandoning responsibility. Contentment means having a peaceful heart while making sincere efforts. It means appreciating what is present instead of being trapped by what is missing. It means understanding that happiness is not far away. Happiness can be found in the present moment when the heart is free from unnecessary craving. The Buddha's teaching is a gentle invitation to return to ourselves. Every breath is an opportunity to practice awareness. Every action is an opportunity to cultivate kindness. Every difficulty is an opportunity to develop patience and wisdom. When we live mindfully, we begin to discover that the greatest treasures are not always visible to the eyes. They are found within the peaceful qualities of the heart. Health gives us the foundation to practice. A peaceful mind gives us the strength to continue. Compassion gives us the ability to connect with others. Wisdom gives us the ability to walk beyond suffering. These qualities are the true wealth of a spiritual life. Dear practitioners, let us look deeply into our own lives. How many moments have we lost because we worried about things that had not happened? How many precious opportunities have passed because our minds were caught in regret about the past? The Buddha teaches us to return to the present. The present moment is where transformation takes place. The present moment is where wisdom grows. The present moment is where peace can be found. When the body is healthy, let us use that health to create goodness. When the body experiences difficulty, let us cultivate patience and understanding. Whether conditions are favorable or challenging, the practitioner maintains a peaceful heart and continues walking the path of awakening. The Buddha's compassion is like a great river that embraces all beings. He does not reject those who suffer. He does not abandon those who struggle. He teaches that every being has the potential to awaken. Even within hardship, there is the seed of wisdom. Even within suffering, there is the possibility of liberation. The story of Suppabuddha teaches us that true healing begins when the mind understands the Dharma. Physical comfort is valuable, but inner peace is even more precious. When the mind is liberated from attachment and confusion, suffering loses its power over us. Therefore, let us cherish this human life. Let us protect our health with mindfulness. Let us care for our bodies with gratitude. Let us cultivate peaceful thoughts. Let us practice compassion toward ourselves and others. The Buddha's teaching is not only something we listen to with our ears. It is something we practice with our entire life. The Blessed One taught with a heart of great compassion, guiding beings away from confusion and toward understanding. His words are not only teachings from the past. They are a living path that helps us recognize the causes of happiness and the causes of suffering within our own minds. When we observe the world around us, we can see that many people are searching for happiness in different ways. Some search through wealth. Some search through fame. Some search through possessions. Some search through the praise and approval of others. They spend many years trying to gather things outside themselves, believing that these things will create security and peace. Yet the Buddha gently reminds us that external conditions are always changing. What we gain today may disappear tomorrow. What we possess today may belong to another person in the future. What appears stable may eventually transform according to the nature of impermanence. The wise practitioner does not reject the world, but understands the world correctly. We may use material conditions wisely, but we do not allow them to control our hearts. We may appreciate comfort, but we do not become imprisoned by comfort. We may enjoy pleasant experiences, but we do not believe that temporary pleasure is the final destination of life. The Buddha teaches us to cultivate an inner richness that cannot be destroyed by changing circumstances. This richness comes from a peaceful mind, a compassionate heart, and a clear understanding of the nature of existence. When the mind is trained through mindfulness and wisdom, we begin to discover a happiness that does not depend on outside conditions. The Blessed One taught that contentment is a great treasure because contentment frees the heart from endless desire. A person who is never satisfied may possess many things but still feel poor inside. A person who understands gratitude may have simple conditions but experience great peace. The difference does not come from the amount of possessions. The difference comes from the condition of the mind. A restless mind always searches for something else. It compares itself with others. It measures its happiness through what others have. It becomes trapped in thoughts of not having enough. Even when receiving something desirable, the mind quickly creates another desire. This endless movement prevents us from seeing the beauty that already exists in the present moment. The Buddha compares uncontrolled desire to a fire that continues burning when more fuel is added. If we continue feeding greed, anger, and attachment, the fire of suffering becomes stronger. But when we practice awareness, compassion, and understanding, the fire gradually becomes peaceful. The mind becomes calm like still water reflecting the beauty of the sky. Contentment does not mean becoming lazy or refusing to improve ourselves. The Buddha encouraged effort, diligence, and wholesome action. A person who practices contentment still works sincerely, still helps others, still develops wisdom, and still fulfills responsibilities. The difference is that the heart is not controlled by greed. The person acts with clarity rather than with endless craving. When we practice contentment, we begin to appreciate simple blessings. A peaceful morning, a moment of silence, a sincere smile, a kind word, a breath taken with awareness. These simple moments are often overlooked because the mind is searching for something greater. Yet true happiness is often hidden within ordinary experiences. The Buddha lived a life of simplicity, but his heart was filled with immeasurable peace. He possessed no worldly kingdom, yet countless beings regarded him as the greatest teacher. He had no collection of treasures, yet his wisdom continues to guide generations. This shows us that the greatest wealth is not measured by what we hold in our hands, but by what qualities we cultivate within our hearts. A person with kindness, patience, wisdom, and compassion carries a treasure wherever they go. Even if circumstances change, these qualities remain a source of strength. External wealth may support our life temporarily, but inner virtues support us through every situation. The Buddha also taught about the importance of trustworthy relationships. Human beings live together and depend upon one another. We receive support from family, friends, teachers, and communities. However, the Buddha reminds us that the most valuable relationships are those based on sincerity, compassion, and trust. A true friend is not simply someone who shares pleasant moments with us. A true friend is someone who encourages goodness, offers honest guidance, and supports the path of wisdom. A trustworthy companion does not lead us toward harmful actions. Instead, they help us strengthen patience, kindness, and awareness. In life, we may meet many people. Some relationships arise because of temporary conditions. Some relationships are connected with personal benefit. Some relationships disappear when circumstances change. But a relationship built upon kindness and understanding has a deeper foundation. Such a relationship becomes a source of encouragement on the spiritual path. The Buddha often praised spiritual friendship because the people around us influence the direction of our lives. When we associate with those who cultivate virtue, our own virtues naturally become stronger. When we spend time with those who follow harmful paths, our minds may gradually be affected by negative habits. Therefore, the Buddha encourages practitioners to choose companions wisely. A good friend is like a lamp in darkness. When we are confused, when we make mistakes, they help us recognize and transform them. The highest friendship is not based on attachment. It is based on compassion and mutual growth. We do not hold others tightly because we fear losing them. Instead, we appreciate the connection while understanding impermanence. We offer kindness without creating dependence. We support others while respecting their own journey. This understanding helps us build healthier relationships. Many difficulties arise because people expect others to provide permanent happiness. They expect another person to remove all their suffering. They expect relationships to remain unchanged forever. But because everything in life changes, such expectations often create disappointment. The Buddha teaches us to love with wisdom. Love with attachment creates fear. Love with wisdom creates freedom. When we care for others with compassion, we wish for their happiness without trying to control their lives. We understand that each person has their own causes, conditions, and path of learning. The 204th verse guides us toward a balanced understanding of life. It teaches us to value the body, train the mind, appreciate what we have, and nurture relationships based on trust and kindness. These teachings lead us gradually toward the highest peace. Dear practitioners, let us examine our own hearts. Are we always searching for something outside ourselves? Are we allowing dissatisfaction to steal the peace available in this moment? Are we appreciating the people who sincerely support us? Are we offering kindness to those who walk beside us? The Buddha's teaching invites us to awaken. Awakening begins with seeing clearly. When we see clearly, we stop chasing illusions. When we stop chasing illusions, the heart becomes peaceful. When the heart becomes peaceful, wisdom naturally appears. May we learn to live with gratitude. May we learn to walk with humility. May we learn to speak words that heal. May we learn to create relationships that bring peace. May we understand the priceless value of a mind free from greed, anger, and confusion. The Dharma is not far away. It is present in each moment of awareness. It is present when we choose patience instead of anger. It is present when we choose kindness instead of selfishness. It is present when we choose forgiveness instead of resentment. The Buddha's words continue to shine because they reveal the timeless truth of the human heart. The path of peace begins within ourselves. When one person transforms the mind, that peace spreads to family, community, and all beings around them. The Buddha teaches that all conditioned things are subject to change. The body changes. Feelings change. Thoughts change. Relationships change. The circumstances of life change. When we understand this truth deeply, we no longer cling with fear. Instead, we learn to live with appreciation, wisdom, and compassion. The wise person does not seek refuge in things that cannot remain forever. The wise person cultivates the qualities of the heart that lead beyond suffering. A peaceful mind, a compassionate heart, and a clear understanding of the Dharma become the true foundation of life. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to see the movement of our thoughts. We notice when greed arises. We notice when anger appears. We notice when sadness and fear enter the mind. Through awareness, we do not become controlled by these emotions. We learn to observe them with kindness and transform them with wisdom. The Buddha never taught us to fight against ourselves. He taught us to understand ourselves. When there is understanding, there is acceptance. When there is acceptance, there is transformation. When there is transformation, there is freedom. Every person has the ability to cultivate the path of awakening. No matter what difficulties we have experienced, no matter what mistakes we have made, the present moment always gives us the opportunity to begin again. A wholesome thought can become the beginning of peace. A kind action can become the beginning of compassion. A moment of awareness can become the beginning of wisdom. The teaching of the Blessed One reminds us to use this precious human life wisely. Let us not allow anger to destroy the peace that we can cultivate. Let us not allow attachment to create suffering in our hearts. Instead, let us walk gently on the path of Dharma. Let us practice patience when facing difficulties. Let us practice forgiveness when we are hurt. Let us practice generosity when we have the opportunity to help others. Let us practice humility when receiving praise. Let us practice gratitude for every condition that helps us grow. The highest happiness is found when the mind is no longer controlled by confusion. The deepest wealth is found when the heart is satisfied and peaceful. The most meaningful connection is found when beings support one another with kindness and trust. The greatest peace is found when the mind reaches freedom from attachment and suffering. The Buddha's teaching is like a beautiful lotus blooming in the middle of the world. Although the lotus grows from muddy water, it remains pure and beautiful. In the same way, although we live among difficulties and challenges, we can still cultivate a pure and awakened heart. May we remember the gentle guidance of the Buddha in every moment of our lives. May we care for this body with mindfulness. May we nurture this mind with wisdom. May we treat all beings with compassion. May we walk together toward peace and liberation. May the merit of listening to the Dharma today become a seed of goodness within our hearts. May this seed grow into understanding, kindness, and awakening. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings experience peace. May all beings walk the path toward enlightenment. Nama Amitabha blessed to all. I hope to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood.